Lesson 10 is my favorite lesson. I'm most excited about this. This is the big picture, zoom out. I look and see my life as a whole, and I can see the purpose behind it. A lot of people talk about my calling. A lot of people talk about their passion. And what we don't realize is that so much of our passion, our purpose, our calling actually comes from the biggest, deepest pain. Can you remember lesson 1? Remember where we started with shame and at the bottom, just all of that hardship? That might seem so far away right now. And that might seem like, wow, I've come so far. And I know we let go of so much in this process, but I want to encourage you that the pain that you went through has a purpose. It can be redeemed. It can be used for good. So it's not saying, oh, wow, all that stuff that happened to me, the hard stuff, the things I had to let go, the people I had to forgive, it was amazing. It's saying, no, it is what it is. But there was actually something there inside of me that I could learn from, that I could grow from. That pain actually moves me towards my purpose and why I am here, why I am who I am. So a lot of times we think of trauma as the bad things and the hard things that shape us. A lot of times we think of all the failure and the difficulty and hardships as things that shape us, of like, wow, they beat us up. I want you to look at it a different way. What if all that hardship was part of the story? All the failure, all the hard stuff, I get to stand on to move up. I choose to make a difference. Like, I see that problem. I went through that problem. I went through that pain. And you know what? You know what people relate to? Think about this. If someone's telling their story, they're like, yeah, it was pretty much perfect. No problems in life, and life's easy. Just be great like me. You're like, okay, that's kind of hard to relate to. But when someone who's successful, and you'll find every successful person has a story like this where, man, I went through this time. It was the hardest part of my life. It was also the most impactful time of my life. I learned who I really was, and I was able to move forward and grow. And now I'm here to share that with you of how you can get through it too. One way that you know that you were chosen to make a difference, that you're called to fix big problems, the one way that you know that you're called to make a difference is that I went through some big things. You went through some big things. That's how you know that you're called, that you have a big purpose. The hero of the story is a much greater hero if he's gone through greater things. Your story, you're the hero. You've grown so much. You're going to accomplish so much and make a big impact. Why? Because you went through so much. Your strength is so great. You went through all this. Understand that. I hope you receive what I'm saying, that your purpose is that big. Your calling is that big. You're going to make an impact that big. So we know those huge obstacles in our life were there with a purpose and a growth. I want you to think of the story, David and Goliath. We all know that, little David, he's a shepherd boy. He's going to go fight in a battle. He doesn't have a sword. He's got a little slingshot. It's like, that's not even a serious weapon. And the huge Goliath, right? He's got all the armor, big sword. He's a big bragger. He loves to brag and talk a big show. And there's little David. He's like, yeah, he's allowed to talk. He starts swinging his sling. Guess what? We know who won, right? King David. David won, and he had to overcome this huge obstacle. If you're looking at it and saying, wow, there's this giant thing to overcome, there's this giant battle we have to face, but it's just little me. Remember, you're King David. And you're thinking, oh, I don't know if I can handle all this. I don't know if I'm equipped, right? Did King David have a big sword? Did he have big armor? No. Those things actually slowed down Goliath the giant, because he had this huge, big, heavy armor. He had this huge, big, heavy sword. David's running around. He's mobile. He's agile. He's hostile, right? If you're in sports. He's got his sling. He's so unconventional. He's so different. He's got such a different mindset. He's got such a different way. That's why he won the battle, because he was so different. He was willing to think different and try different things. You're the same way. You're open to these new things. If you're going through this program, that's just proof that you're open to these kind of things. You're set up for success. You're set up for success. You're David. You're going to slay your giant. You probably already have slayed giants that you don't even appreciate. So be proud of that. A lot of times you might be looking at it and say, oh, I feel like there's this huge obstacle, this mountain in front of me. You don't have to run around the mountain and cover every inch. A lot of times it's just one step at a time moving forward. So this is exactly like leveling up in a video game. How do you get it XP? Right? What does XP even mean? It means experience. How do you get experience? You go out and try things. You face challenges. You go on new adventures. You gather up all the experience. That's what the failure is in your life. You're gathering up all the experience. You're learning and growing. As a matter of fact, let's have fun with this. You kind of drew your superhero before. Draw your video game character. What kind of game is this? Is this kind of like spies and secrets? Is this modern? Is this ancient? Like, think of your video game. Is it medieval times? Is it, like cool swords? Is it like a fantasy kind of realm where there's dragons and obstacles? Like, have fun with this. Think about what your story's like. And then draw up your character. What bosses are you going to fight and defeat? What friends and characters are you going to pull in and like, hey, this is my team? What experiences, what challenges? Like, have fun with the video game aspect of this, but no, this is your story you're actually creating in reality. You can make it fun with dragons and all this stuff, but understanding that this is actually what real life is like. If I'm willing to go at it, if I'm willing to try, I'm going to get the experience, and experience is what level me up. So experience is what levels you up. And much like a game, life is fun. That's a belief, right? Life is fun. So draw out your character. What kind of level ups do you want your characters to have? What tools does your character have? Is it kindness? Is it super focus? Is it strength? Is it patience? Like, I'll outlast everybody. Everyone will give up. I'm still going, man. I'm patient. I'm persistent. So have fun. Get on another piece of paper. Draw your game. Draw the map. Are there mountains? Is this desert? Is this under the sea? Is this in space? Are we in spaceships flying around? Like, just have fun, okay? Build this out. Build excitement. When you're open to these new experiences that you're talking about, we're just seeing it in a new and interesting way. This is so fun. So what are you passionate about? What do you feel excited by? What's the challenge that you look at that and be like, yeah, that's my thing. I'm going at that. This is where you get excited and draw in your power to know that you can change things. So another exercise I want you to try is, if you're thinking like, oh, it might be hard to visualize all that, to come up with all the cool stuff. Or you might be even saying, I don't know, like, how do I make this real? Like, I can make it fun. I can make it, exciting and like games. And how do I make it real? What I want you to do is think about 3 people that are heroes in your lives. Write down their names and then write down why you admire them. Look them up. Look up their stories. Learn about them. Like Oprah. Oprah's just a person, man, I just respect so much. So I've read books about her. I've watched like YouTube of her show. I watched parts of her stories. I watched her interviews. I watched her interview other people. I watched other people interview her. And I learned so much about her. I'm like, oh, what was her story? What do I admire about her? What things did she do? What events did she face? And why do I respect that so much? And what you realize is that when you're seeing that inside of that person, again, we know, oh, that's something in me. Like, I can see it in them because I can see it in me. So those things that are great in Oprah or whoever you look up to, see that as like, oh, that's part of my story too. That's why I look up to her. That's why I respect her. So then what I want you to do is, when you see those things, I want you to write down, I am those qualities. I am resilient. I am strong. I show up for myself. Those things, write those down and say, I am. Again, we're building this identity where it's so solid, it's so real. And again, even in Oprah's life, the people you respect and follow, they faced pain, and that's actually what brought about their purpose. All of it was useful. All of it was brought back with a purpose, where that was actually the thing that pushed them into their purpose. So you might not always love everything that's happened to you, but you can know that it was something that happened for you. It might not have felt good, but it's working together for my good. The biggest thing I want to talk about, you might be saying, okay, I get this. These have been great. I'm not ready though. I don't know if I'm ready to go out and do this. First of all, what does ready even mean? What does it mean? Oh, like I'm perfect before I do anything? No, no one is ever ready. And if you feel like you need to be ready, then pick a time and say, hey, this is what ready looks like. I'm going to try this 4 times. And then I'll know I'm ready. And then you can go out and try it. But I'm here to tell you, there's no ready. No one's ever ready. Ready means I've got it all figured out before I do it. But like we talked about, you don't figure everything out and then do it. Like you do things, and that's how you figure it out and learn and grow. So you might be, oh, I'm not ready. I don't think I'm ready yet. No one's ever ready. You can't just wait around and get ready for life. Life is happening. And by the way, if you need to feel ready, if you need permission from somebody or something, give it to yourself right now. Just say, okay, I'm ready. I consider myself ready. I'm ready now. And the reason I say that you're ready is oftentimes we think being ready, like, okay, my calling, my passion, these things are all outside of us. They're far away. Maybe they're in the future. That's not how it works. All of these things are actually inside of us. All of these things are actually inside of you right now. Your calling and your passion isn't out there. Your destiny, who you want to become, it's not out there, it's in here. You already have everything you need to be successful. That's exciting. You already have everything inside of you that you need to go and be successful and win. What I want you to do, so this is our last exercise, okay? This has been so fun. This is the last exercise. I want you to do is close your eyes. And we're going to get deep down into like one of the deepest parts of us, into how we want to feel. I want you to close your eyes and imagine how you want to feel and the feeling of how you want to make others feel. It could be strength. It could be calm. It could be peace. It could be freedom. I want people to feel resilient. I want people to be happy. I want you to close your eyes and literally choose to feel that. You can choose to feel your feelings. They don't just happen at random. You can decide, hey, I'm going to feel content right now. And then what I want you to do is like feel that feeling and then look, what does that look like? And then you got like, I know you've seen pictures, images and stuff in your mind, your memory. What do you see around you when you're in that deep feeling? Hey, this is how I want people to feel. What do you see around you? Right? Use all your senses. Make it real. Use all your senses. What do you hear? What do you smell? What's happening in this moment? How are people moving their bodies? Maybe there's tastes like, hey, we're winning the national championship. Someone dumps Gatorade on me. I taste Gatorade. I don't know. What is that for you? What do you see? What do you feel? What's happening? What's going on around you? What do you feel in your body? What are the feelings people are feeling? Feel that. Then what I want you to do is write that down or share it with somebody, share it with a friend. What does it feel like to see yourself in that situation? How does this connect to you living your purpose, the life you desire? How does it feel to live out your values and principles? And when you're doing those things that fill you up, that light you up, that make you excited, and you're making other people feel that way, man, that's living a life of purpose. That is so good. And remember, if you're ever in a tough spot, and it might seem like your vision and that kind of stuff is far away, you can always go back to this exercise. You can always dream about the future. We can always see it and decide, yeah, I'm going to do that. So in summary, I want you to think about what you want to apply. We learned so many cool things. I know you've taken action on so many cool things. But remember at the beginning when we first started talking, I said, find one thing that makes this worth it for you. What's that one thing? I don't need you to remember everything I said over how many hours. I need you to remember, like, that's the one thing for me. That's my one thing. Write that down. Talk about it with your friends. So you've learned so much. You've learned how to get rid of shame. You've learned how to make good choices. You've learned that, hey, my beliefs, they shape my choices, which shape my actions, and that shapes and changes everything. Everything changes. You've learned how to look at failure. Hey, failure is just training. We've learned, hey, I'm just going to try things and I can trust myself. I can believe. I can live out my values. If I get off course or life tries to shake me up, I just look at my values and my principles and I look at my goal. That puts me right in line with it. I'm always getting back on track. So I want to encourage you. Write down your big takeaway, remember it, but then do more than that. Act on it. Go out and do this. You should be so proud of yourself. You've done so much. You think new things. You have new habits. You have new standards. You're a different person. Why? Because you've done the work. You've made good choices. So make a big commitment to yourself. I'm all in on me. Say that. Say that to yourself. I'm all in on me. I'm all in on this. So I want to ask you, how are you going to hold yourself accountable? Is this something that you hang in your room, you hang on the mirror, you put in your locker, you look at every day? Is this something you tell your friend about and say, hey, ask me about this? Is this something you tell a leader, a mentor, a coach, and say, hey, hold me accountable to this. Hold me to the standard. I want to be the best me and I need your help. So write down how you're going to hold yourself to your commitment. And if you keep making this commitment, do you think your life will be amazing and different and better? For sure. So I want to encourage you, when you live that heart-centered life from your values and your beliefs and your identity, there are no limits. You can accomplish anything. So I believe in you. I'm excited for you. I'm proud for you. You should be proud of yourself. Now let's go do it.